Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about your works cited and in-text citations specifically for MLA format. So let's go ahead and get started. So a couple things that are going to be helpful when it comes to creating your works cited are Son of Citation, EasyBib, or you can also just type in Citation Machine and something should pop up. A few things I want to note, and I'm going to walk you through that in this slideshow. When you do use these websites, they don't get all the information, meaning you might have to go and check the citation and add items yourself. So here's something, if you go to Citation Machine or Son of Citation, here's what you need to do. First, you need to choose your style. If you look up here, there's several different styles of how to format a paper. The two that you are going to use a lot this year are APA and MLA format. APA is more guided around science or the social sciences, and MLA is more things that you'll interact with English or social studies. So choose your style, and you're going to choose MLA. The next thing you're going to do is you need to choose what type of source you are using. So for this one, you're going to use a website because you'll find it on the internet, and then you'll copy and paste the link into this little section right here where the arrows are. And then just make sure again that it says MLA format because that will change. For STEM Fair, you are going to use APA format just as something to note for the future. From there, you'll hit search, and then it should, usually it's just one result, but sometimes there's multiple results, and then you just have to make sure that whichever one pops up and that you click on is the one that matches with your website. So then you'll hit select. From there, a page like this will pop up. It's going to say that we could not find this information. This means that you need to go back into the citation yourself and add the publisher and the publication date. And I'll show you how to do that. So right here, this is the information that they found. So I had to go in and add the publisher and the publication date. So it all pops up right here. It was just that those spots were empty. Once all of this is filled in, so there are no blank spots, you hit Create Citation. From here, this is what my citation would look like for this article right here. So then I have that right here. I have the author's last name, comma, first, the title of the article in quotation marks, and then the website title, and then the publisher that it came from. And then on here is the date that it was published, where I got it, and then when I accessed it. So this is what it should look like. You can see that I have it indented, and that's what we're going to get to next. This is a complete works cited. There are a couple things that you need to make sure. Only the first line is not indented. So for each citation, the first line is going to be over here on the left, and the rest are going to be indented. And then you also need to make sure that it's in alphabetical order. And when I say that, I mean if you have multiple sources, the first letter is what you are putting in alphabetical order. So it goes F, H, K, P, and then W. And that's all you just need to make sure that you do. Okay, so from here, you guys are going to do your in-text citations. There's a couple of things that you need to note and what they should be, how they should be formatted. So for my example right here, I have the last name of the author, May, which would be my in-text citation. So on here, I have May as my example, and I'm going to show you guys how to get there. So whenever you cite something, if it's a direct quote, or even if you paraphrase it, meaning you read the quote and you want to use it in your paper and then you put it into your own words, you still have to cite it. And this right here is how it should be formatted. So in order to create that, you guys are going to look at your works cited first. You have to have your works cited done first before you can even create what your in-text citation is. And it's either going to be the author's last name or it's going to be the title of the article in quotation marks. So once you figure out if it's the last name of the author that comes first or if it's the title of the article that comes first, that's what you're going to put in the parentheses. From there, you need to figure out which page you found that fact on. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but I also wrote it right here. Once you have your article, so this is my article right here, and let's say this is the fact that I want to use. I'm going to go File, Print, and I'm not actually going to print this. So here it is. It's really small print, but basically you just need to look at the text to see where it came from. So here is the start of my quote, which would actually be on page 1. But if I were to scroll down to page 2 and my quote was right here, then I would put page 2. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back here so that you guys can understand. I just hit File, Print, and then I scrolled through, and then I would put page 1 or page 2 or however many pages it would be. So right here, if you notice it says page 1, you would actually put page 1 or 2 in that place instead. It's just so that if somebody were to fact check where your information came from, they can easily find it. So just for reference, if we are looking at this slide right here, here's my works cited. Depending on whatever comes first is what would go in your in-text citation. So right here, if I were to use this Allingham is what would go in the in-text citation. But if there is no author, like this one right here, I would put parenthesis, quotation mark, did climate inspire the birth of a monster, quotation mark, and then the page number I found it on, parenthesis, period. So let's go ahead and go over how to summarize information. I always like to preface it if you're reading a book or a movie, you're not going to tell them shot for shot what happened. You're going to summarize it. So what you need for your summary is the main ideas of the text. So after you read something, pull out the main things that you took away from it or the important people that you come into contact with. You still need to cite this information because it doesn't matter even if you might have known it, you still need to cite it beforehand. Try to avoid direct quotes because there's no real point of summarizing if you're just going to do a direct quote. You will need your in-text citation and try to keep it between 5 and 6 sentences. So here's how you guys are going to practice. You're going to write a 5 to 6 sentence summary of this article right here. Open up a new Google Doc and just drop it in there. You'll need your works cited, so you're going to cite this article. And then you'll need at least one in-text citation to show me that you understand how to do that. And then just make sure you have your MLA header and format. If there's any questions, please ask. I know this is kind of confusing from afar, but we're going to practice it a lot over the next couple of weeks.